It's interesting as well that in this day and age, Barney Frank, after 29 years in Congress, has a number of Republicans who are lining up to take him on. We've chatted with Sean Belat in the past. He's one of the Republicans. There's another gentleman by the name of Earl Sholly. Happy to bring Earl into this conversation. We'll get his reaction to some of Barney Frank's comments. Good morning, Earl.
Good morning, Jeff. Pleasure to be on the show. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. Tell me a little bit about your reaction as you hear long-term Congressman Barney Frank make those comments.
Well, they're outrageous. Barney Frank wants to have it both ways. He's a master of deceit, and he's a master of misdirection. If you look at his record, he comes out and he says one thing about a particular issue, whether it's Israel or whether it's Fannie Mae or whether it's auditing the Fed legislation. He comes out and he says one thing, and then when you look at his voting record, he does the complete opposite. Mm-hmm. It's time to defeat Barney Frank, and let's get this country back on track once again.
Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in that campaign to do exactly that. For the first time in a long time, we've got multiple Republicans looking to knock him off.
Well, that's right. There's actually two of us. There were 6 Republicans who pulled nomination papers, but only 2 of us got our signatures, and there will be 2 of us on the ballot in September.
All right, tell me a little bit about your campaign, Earl. What differentiates you from Sean Belat as well as from Barney Frank?
Well, I think I'm the true conservative in the race. Plus, I have experience. I've run before. I ran a short campaign against Mr. Frank. I showed up at his press conference. I'm a grassroots guy. I'm a junkyard dog. I challenged him to a debate. We debated at Wellesley College. I won the debate. I don't think he's as smart and as funny as people give him credit for being. You know, he's been in there for 29 years, Jeff, going on 30, and he's become very arrogant. He's definitely an elitist, and he's very condescending to people. Mm-hmm. And now he's going to have his hands full with this other Democrat. He has an opponent in the Democratic primary, Rachel Brown, the Lyndon LaRouche supporter. And old Barney's going to have fits.
Well, that's one of the things that is coming out, Earl, from people who live in that district who, quite frankly, on a political scale, might find themselves agreeing with Barney Frank on any number of issues, but they don't like him personally. He's just a nasty guy.
He is. And, I've talked to so many people. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to within the last few months who have said, you know what, I voted for Barney Frank, but no more. There's this anti-incumbency fervor. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just think he's been in there for too long, that he's lost touch with his constituents. In fact, he really has nothing in common with many of his constituents because this is a fairly conservative district. After all, Scott Brown won this district when he ran against Martha Coakley. Mm-hmm. It was close, but he still won this district. So I think people are fed up with Mr. Frank and the Democrats in Washington who are growing government at a geometric rate, and we can't sustain it. I think this is just common sense, Jeff. I think that there are 3 solutions to many of the problems that we have in Washington, and those are downsizing government, lowering taxes tremendously to stimulate the economy, because government spending doesn't do it. It's a drag on the economy. And the last thing we need to do is implement term limits. We get rid of a lot of that the special interests influence in Washington. We get rid of, this big government mentality. And, of course, Barney Frank is the poster boy for big government.